And now, we bring you episode 691 of the ongoing soap opera, As the Puck Spins. Today, we take you to the headquarters of the National Hockey League. Sands through the egg timer. A flash of light. A child screams. As the puck spins.
I simply don't know how the big man is going to take this. What do you think, NHL Vice President of Media Dan Kim?
Well, NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, I think it is positively damaging, positively challenging amongst our core demographics. We'll have a tough time spinning this one.
Oh, look, it's a meeting of the boys club.
This is the NHL Vice President of Social Engagement, Kim Davis. If you want the girls club, they play for the PWHL. I can call up Jane Heffy if you want.
If I've told you once, I've told you 100 times. It's Jana Hefford.
Okay, look, I believe you, but I'm glad you're here. We have a situation. Dan and I were just discussing what to do about what's been happening. Dan, can you walk Kim through what we have discovered?
Yes, thanks, Bill Daly. Well, Ms. Davis, there's a new social media phenomenon causing us and the constituent clubs of the NHL grave concern. Indeed, this is a global media phenomenon. It's called Heated Rivalry, and...
Say no more. You want me to tell the big man, right?
Well...
Now, of course we don't just...
To tell the truth, it would be...
Kim, we value everything you bring to the board, but given Heated Rivalry's impact vis-a-vis social engagement, we think you're best poised to explain it to him.
Okay, all right. I'll do it. Dan, Bill Daly, you're off the hook.
Oh, thank God. Look, Kim, we really appreciate it, and,
No, you don't have to watch the show.
Woo-hoo!
Dodged a fucking bullet.
I bet you did. All right, I'll head over and talk to him now.
Hello there, Miss Davis. Are you here to see the big man?
Yes, I am. Does he have some time?
I can get you in. He's got a few very important calls today, but there's a bit of time.
Thanks, Judith. Hey, weren't you James Dolan's secretary?
Oh, yes, Miss Davis. I still am. Mr. Dolan's office is off to the right. It's just easier if he works out of NHL headquarters, given he kind of runs the place anyway. Go on in and see the big man.
Hello there, Miss Davis. It's me, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman.
Where did this crowd come from, Mr. Commissioner?
Well, I hired them. It's really the only way I can give a pronouncement, recite a speech, introduce a draft, or present the Stanley Cup without being booed.
I have important news for you, Mr. Commissioner. Your paid lackeys will have to leave.
All right, folks, same time next week. Thanks. Next time I practice not putting out anyone's eye while I announce the Conn Smythe winner. Bring your safety goggles. Okay, we're alone. What can I do for you, Miss Davis?
Mr. Commissioner, there has been a new social media and television event crossing the globe, and it involves hockey players.
Well, that's wonderful. I love free advertising for the NHL, which has the best sport and the best players in the world. Unless it involves them playing in the Olympics, at which point I hate it and have to be dragged into it kicking and screaming. What's it called?
Well, it's called Heated Rivalry. And
that's so good, because ice is cold.
Yes, it is, Mr. Commissioner. The story is about 2 high draft picks, 1 Canadian and 1 Russian, who are...
Oh, it's a documentary about Sidney Crosby and Alexander Ovechkin.
No, Mr. Commissioner. It's a fictional story. It's a romance. It's about...
I see. It's about a hockey player falling in love, ideally with a bottle blonde white woman from somewhere in America's heartland who will look very good on camera when shown occasionally on TV.
No, Mr. Commissioner. It's about the two players, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov.
Oh, Mrs. Bettman told me about this type of romance. A love triangle, yes, where two men compete for the affections of a bottle blonde white woman from America.
Sir, it's about the two players and...
Are they fighting over 2 women? 3? 4? How many women can 2 men fight over?
None! They're gay. They fuck each other a lot. Then they fall in love. They're gay hockey players who fuck and fall in love. Tuna melts and a cottage are involved. They're gay and they fuck and fall in love.
I see. Well, thank you for bringing this to my attention, Miss Davis. As the NHL is a league where everyone can play, I see no problems here. Famously, we are a league that is perfectly open and accepting to gay people.
What are you talking about, Mr. Commissioner? We banned pride tape and wearing pride jerseys during warm-ups. Multiple NHL players have proudly explained that they don't support queer people. Pride nights are fading across the league. Matthew Tkachuk just basically came in public while talking to the current fascist president.
Right. But we still take their money, don't we?
Very good, Mr. Commissioner. Have a nice day.
Judith, what meetings do I have today?
Mr. Commissioner, you have a meeting with IIHF President Luke Tardif to make fun of his tiny little Milan ice surface. Then you're taking a call from Francesco Aquilini, the owner of the Canucks, to laugh about how little money he's spending on his team. After that, you have a short lunch with Mark Messier to discuss his critical vote for the Mark Messier Leadership Award winner for this year. And after that, you have your weekly session where Ottawa Senators owner Michael Andlar begs for his first-round pick back.
Cancel them all. I have a new show to watch.
Will Gary Bettman enjoy binging all of Heated Rivalry? Will Bill Daly ever topple him to become head of the NHL? Will Kim Davis's eyes ever stop rolling at her coworkers? Find out next time on As the Puck Spins. As the Puck Spins, no soap operas, just hockey, starred Madison as Judith, Benjamin as NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly, Trevor as NHL Vice President of Media Dan Kim, SJ as NHL Vice President of Social Engagement Kim Davis, Emily as NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman, and your host, me, as myself. Tune in next time for another exciting installment of As the Puck Spins.
Bravo, team. I think we broke Trevor.
Oh, God. It's great reading it. It's just so much better hearing it out loud. Oh, my God.
That delivered really well. I'm really happy with that.
It was really funny.
Hey, folks, thanks for checking into the Neutral Zone Hotel. We're an unapologetically left-leaning podcast that examines hockey at its best and worst, and we wanted to take a moment to connect with our loyal and passionate fan base. We know and feel your disappointment with how the season has gone to this point. We are just as frustrated and want nothing more than deliver an on-ice product. Oh, wait, no, that's something else entirely. We're a podcast. You're checking in, and I've got a few. I'm Benjamin. My pronouns are he, him. I'm Montreal Canadiens and Ottawa Charge fan, and I want to introduce a couple of my co-hosts, starting with Trevor.
Hi, everybody. Trevor's here. My pronouns are he, him, a fan of the Vancouver Golden Eyes and acting commander of Team Tank for the Vancouver Canucks.
We've also got Emily.
What's up, everyone? I'm Emily, they, she, Colorado Avalanche, and Buffalo Sabres fan.
And checking in last, we've got Madison.
Hi, I'm Madison. Pronouns are she, they, and I am a Colorado Avalanche and University of Denver hockey fan.
So, folks, we're going to apologize. We're not going to be talking too much about Heated Rivalry today, although you should have heard by now how Gary Bettman found out about the show and why he decided to binge it in one setting.
Yeah.
But we are going to talk about the New York Rangers and the letter that Chris Jury released. So, as you heard a little bit earlier, the Rangers have released a letter informing their fans that they are preparing for a retool. The term used in the letter is retool. They specifically say, quote, "This will not be a rebuild," end quote. They will target players that bring tenacity, skill, speed, and a winning pedigree with a focus on obtaining young players, draft picks, and cap space. Interestingly enough, this is the second time the Rangers have issued such a letter, the first being 8 years ago when then GM Jeff Gorton did the same. And I thought we would start off by talking about where the Rangers are today and maybe dig a little bit into how they got there. Trevor.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on the New York Rangers?
First things first, I physically felt myself age when you said that was 8 years ago. I swear that was like right at COVID times when they first did that.
That felt so much more recent than 8 years ago.
Yeah, I was like, wasn't it like last year? Wait, no.
Because this also implies that means.
Oh my God.
Well, this also implies it means like Lafreniere is like in year 7. I'm like, no, he was just drafted recently, right?
I remember before he got drafted. Oof.
Right. But yeah, How do I feel about this from the New York Rangers? I am cackling myself to sleep every night because I am watching this franchise that I hate so much just be futile. And hey, someone want to remind me who their captain is?
It's no BS, JT Miller.
Who could have foreseen this coming? It couldn't be Canucks fans who watched him beef with like 3 prior captains or assistant captains for the past 5 years, huh?
Tell us how you really feel, Trevor.
That whiny little piss baby? Nah, it couldn't be. Don't get me wrong. He was a great piss baby when he wanted to be, but that's only when he wants to be. When he doesn't want to be, it's bad. New York fans are finding that out right now. And on one hand, Rangers fans, I'm sorry for you, but I'm also not your cheer for the Rangers.
So I'm looking at the original letter, February 8th, 2018. So 8 years, less a month for the letter to be released.
Oh my God. What?
Wow.
And it's very funny that it's basically the same letter. It even uses some similar words. As we approach the trade deadline this month and into the summer, we will be focusing on adding young competitive players that combine speed, skill, and character. This may mean we lose some familiar faces, guys we all care about and respect. And yeah, so from today's, we will target players that bring tenacity, skill, speed, and a winning pedigree with focus on obtaining young players, draft picks, and cap space to allow us flexibility. That may mean saying goodbye to players that have brought us and our fans great moments over the years. It's the same letter.
Look at how well that worked over the last 8 years.
Right back where they started.
Why wouldn't you run it back?
I mean, looking at that objectively, that means they won 2 draft lotteries and also made 2 conference finals and a President's Trophy.
You're not wrong.
It's not bad.
And I think it's fair to say, what did they do with their lottery luck? And what did they do with their cap space and their picks that they acquired? Which is where we're going to look today. So they obviously won the 2019 rivalry. Jeez, I got Heated Rivalry on the brain. Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
I just watched the whole thing again yesterday.
I don't dare ask how many times SJ's watched the last episode.
So many.
It's certainly approaching.
So many.
It's at least 20. I'm 100% sure. So the Rangers won the second overall pick in the 2019 entry draft, picking Kaapo Kakko. Kakko was the top European skater available. And this is not a particularly great draft year in a lot of ways. So the next couple ranked players, Vasily Podkolzin and Victor Soderstrom for European, Bowen Byram, Kirby Dach, Alex Turcotte, Dylan Cousins. So tough to blame them for picking cat. Not like you can't say they didn't completely screw the pooch there. But when you go and look at that draft, they could have used some of the other players who came up.
Yeah.
They could have used Cousins or Broberg or even Zegras. Mo Sider obviously is the steal of the draft, but nobody saw that coming. And then the next year they win the 2020 entry draft. They pick the consensus number 1 pick, Alex Lafreniere. Quentin Byfeld was next, Tim Stutzla, Lucas Raymond, Jake Sanderson.
I think you'd take any of those guys.
I think Byfield you probably are not that chuffed about, but Stutzla's had a hell of a career. Raymond's very good. Sanderson's turning into a number 1 D.
Mm-hmm. Ottawa fans just sitting there cackling.
Yeah, got to give it to that Ottawa regime. They had a really good 2020 draft.
Mm-hmm.
Really good one. And I think they got Ridley Gregg later on in that draft as well.
Oh, my God.
That's another first-round pick that they picked up. So it was a good draft for Ottawa. But New York, yeah. Will Cooley, they picked him up in the second round.
He's a player.
Adam Edstrom, he's playing for them. They've gotten some games out of Matthew Robertson now. 2020, Matt Rempe, obviously. They love Matt Rempe, even though he's just the worst player.
Demon spawn.
Tell us how you really feel, Madison.
2018, they picked Vasily Kravtsov with their yeah. And that's not a guy was he part of the original JT Miller trade?
I think he came over. Yeah. He was part of the trade that I think when Miller came back to New York, and then the Canucks just didn't do anything with him. I think he's over in Russia right now.
That feels like something the Canucks would do.
No, he was traded in 2023 in exchange for Will Lockwood in the 7th round pick.
A dude I've definitely heard of.
That's a real hockey player for sure.
I mean, right? I've heard of him, but that's for reasons. Okay, who? Oh no, it was Philip Hedl was in the Miller trade.
Okay.
Evan Bouchard was the next player that got picked. Oliver Wahlstrom was the next winger, but then you could have had Joel Farabee. You could have had...
Okay, this is like low-key a stacked draft, huh?
Noah Dobson's up there.
Wow, yeah, what a stacked draft.
Yeah, there are some better options than they picked, for sure.
Well, is it necessarily that, or is it just that they developed Lafreniere completely terribly?
That's a good question.
I do think that's... Yeah.
My stance has always been that I think Lafreniere has more talent than he's showing, and I think that is partially on the Rangers. The Rangers have never been a great development team. That doesn't seem to have changed. But I think the only way that we're ever going to find out is by trading him to Montreal for pennies and then seeing if he develops.
Okay. There's no other way to know.
Okay.
How else could we tell?
And I mean, I think he's also mentioned that, he is afraid of making mistakes because he loses playing time and things. And I think that's just sort of how it's gone with the Rangers. So none of their young guys can develop because if they make a mistake, which they're going to do because they're babies, they get benched. And it's really hard to develop into a top 6 talent if you're getting 4.5 minutes a night and you're getting yelled at if you turn the puck over ever in your life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you look at their prior coaches, Laviolette, he'd be bad for that. And other than that, it's David Quinn.
He missed the David Quinn era because, no, he didn't. So he's on his 4th coach with New York.
Really? Okay.
Quinn, Gallant, Laviolette, and now Sullivan.
Yeah, I think Gallant would do one.
That's a lot of turnover.
That's a lot of turnover. So, and Gallant and Laviolette are hardcore. They're not skill development guys. So as much as I was joking earlier about sending him to Montreal, he could benefit from a guy like Martin St. Louis who knows how to take young players, and get the juice out of them. The types of guys, the only coach that I can think of that would have been worse for him to have at age 19 than Gerard Gallant is John Tortorella.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, of course. Or Mike Babcock, maybe.
Well, Mike Babcock is bad for a lot of reasons. Torts, I think, actually is a very good coach who has difficult ways, but man, he does not reward creativity, and that's what they need. He'd probably do really well in Philadelphia. Look at the way Zegras has developed this year.
That's so true.
It's true. Michkov, though, might say otherwise.
I don't think that's Tocchet's fault. I think that's Michkov's fault. And sophomore slump is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So taking a look at the Rangers, what have they done? They've made some trades, obviously, since 2018. I'm just scrolling back. I pulled this up and I forgot to scroll. So going back, we know their letter was February 9th or February 8th. So they moved on some guys. They picked up Michael Grabner to get a second in 2018. That 2018 second from New Jersey got traded to Ottawa, where it didn't get where it was used on nothing. What did they get for it? They traded up to 22nd overall for Keandre Miller. Okay, good. That's
okay.
Which now Keandre Miller's gone, and that just feels like that's weird, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, he developed fine, but I can't remember, but I want to say like he just wasn't meshing in their system.
And I don't know that he was getting a good partner. I'm not really sure. I don't watch the Rangers as like a general rule, so I would not call myself an expert on what his situation was.
Strong West Coast bias over here.
Oh, this is so long ago. February 25th, so I believe that's just before the deadline. They move out Rick Nash to Boston for a first and a seventh, as well as Ryan Spooner, Matt Beliski, and Ryan Lindgren, who's still there. The 2018 first, which was Boston's, also got moved. It became Jacob Bernard Docker. It also ended up in Ottawa.
Oh, yeah. That's probably was used like with that second to move up, I guess. Yeah. But he's Bernard Darker is also not in Ottawa though. But I guess that's besides the point.
He's in Detroit. He was in Buffalo, and he is now in Detroit.
Yeah, he went to Buffalo last year as part of the Cousins trade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So they traded all that. So all that to get Keandre Miller. Okay, I'm okay with that. Except you don't have Keandre Miller anymore. You got rid of him. That's such a weird move. They send off Ryan McDonough and JT Miller. They get a first and a second back. The first becomes...
That's to Tampa Bay, right?
That one, so he gets the Tampa Bay. They use that on Nils Lundqvist, who's now in Dallas.
Was he another one of those prospects who like famously demanded a trade because he was just not getting any good development? Because I know Elias Anderson was one of them for sure, but Nils Lundqvist sounds familiar in that regard as well. It's a common trend, as you may see, with the New York Oranges.
They traded him for a 2023 conditional first, which they ended up swapping to the St. Louis Blues. Oh my goodness, this is such a mess. That was in the Tarasenko acquisition.
Okay.
So they ended up spending that draft capital on getting Tarasenko. They acquired Adam McQuaid from Boston in a cap dump next year. They acquired Ryan Spooner again. Or they sent Ryan Spooner for Ryan Strome. That didn't work out. Man. Just...
Have they kept any of these people for more than a season or two?
They sold Matt Zuccarello at the next for a second and a third, 2019 second. Let's go see what they did with that.
Oh, boy. All right. Over under and how many more trades those picks went through.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Oh, no. We're going to set it at 2.5 now.
I'm taking the over.
It was conditional, so
Oh, conditions. Oh, no, it's even worse.
I think what we're learning is the Rangers have not done anything good in the last 8 years.
that's Matthew Robertson. So yeah, they acquired Matthew. You got Matthew Robertson with that, so it works out okay. But ultimately, what we see here, it's going to scroll through a little bit more until we get to their rebuild period. Yeah, they get Trouba. They spend so by 2019 they're buying again. Obviously, they get Adam Fox for cheapest free, but then they go and get Jacob Trouba for first and Neil Pionk. They are selling a couple minor pieces. They sell Brady Skay. Apparently, Mark Stahl was still on the team. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It's wild.
as well.
Ryan Reeves played for them. Barclay Goudreau.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they had to yeet Barclay Goudreau into the sun a couple years later. So the whole thing with the Rangers is, for me, they ended up getting to the conference finals once. They have Adam Fox, who's a very, very good defenseman. They have very, very, very good goaltender. And they signed Panarin, who's now 34.
And they're not extending.
So if you're... So you said it earlier, I think, we're going to do the same thing and see if it works. Was that you who said that, Emily, last time? Or was that you, Madison?
I said it, but I think Madison agreed.
Well, you're the Sabres fan, so you're the expert on doing it again and seeing if it works, right?
Holy shit.
Roast them.
Hey, 14 years of missing the playoffs is a really solid streak of running it back and getting the same result. So yes.
Is there just something in the water in the state of New York?
There might be.
Well, at least there's one team, at least in New York, who knows how to rebuild, but it's not in the NHL.
Yeah. The Buffalo Sabres are currently in a playoff spot with a game in hand.
Hell yeah.
Godspeed. I would simply love to see it.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
Someone here, I'll knock on wood.
I have a nice wooden desk.
So when the Rangers announced the rebuild last time, it was Glenn Sather and Jeff Gorton. Sather's was obviously 1,000 years old. He's now retired. Gorton has moved to Montreal, where he's playing the Glenn Sather role to Kent Hughes, and they've pulled off an incredible rebuild in Montreal. Chris Drury has not been liked by the fan base in New York for quite a while, and I don't think this letter is going to earn him any laurels with them, but I truly wonder how much of this is Chris Drury and how much of this is ownership.
Like, if the letter also sounds the same, like, is that, because that's multiple general managers who had to, quote unquote, write that letter, right? So
It feels like ownership.
If it's the same PR department, then, they're going to generate the same letter. But it does indicate that it could be coming from higher up.
Panarin is clearly moving. They've made that pretty clear. Yep. Who else do you think they actually move on from as part of this retool?
It would be so funny if it was JT Miller, but I don't think that'll happen.
I kind of potentially can see him moving on from Mika, especially now that Mika is actually starting to produce, so you can actually maybe get some trade value out of that. I don't know how much more he's got on his contract, though.
4 years at $8.5 million.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He has a no TC.
Okay.
Or a full no move.
Okay, there it is.
At the end of it, he has a modified no trade clause, but they don't have the condition on Puckpedia. So tough to move him, but if you can find a buyer, they do have all their retention slots, so they can choose to retain.
I think they'd have to retain on him. I don't think anyone's taking him at that cost for 4 more years. If it was 1 year, they might be able to talk somebody into it, but 4 is... Although cap's going up, people need to hit the floor. Somebody somewhere might talk themselves into it.
So I think you probably could find a sucker to take JT Miller, but I don't think he'll move.
Yeah.
I think Lafreniere has no trade protection. He's still too young for it.
I don't think they'd get much for him, but I think at this point you see if someone's willing to take a flyer. Yeah.
I mean, I hope he gets traded.
if you can move JT, you need to probably get Vinny Trocheck to go with them.
Are they joined at the hip?
Pretty much. That's the reason JT wanted to go back to New York in the first place.
So Trocheck has a 12-team list.
Okay.
12-team no trade.
Yeah, I just don't know what assets they can get for any of these guys, because the ones they want to move are either young guys who aren't playing very well, so you're not going to get anything, or old guys who might be expensive and signed for a long time, which also doesn't get you much value.
It's not bad. What's his term and money? I did just look it up. He's in year 4 of 7, so he's signed until 2029. But it's 5.625, so it's not the worst.
That's somebody could take that on if they want.
Also, somehow he's almost a point per game this year. What?
Huh. Okay, maybe someone will pay for that.
Yeah, looking through the Rangers roster, I don't see a lot of names that jump out at me as like good trade value in at least one direction. It feels kind of stifling.
Well, we've already established they can't draft. So if you can't draft a need to field a roster, it means you have to have some older guys. So they're probably going to have a whole lot of 30-somethings. Or at least near 30-somethings. And funnily enough, those guys don't exactly always have great trade value.
Especially if they've got, 3 to 5 years left on a contract that's going to take them until they're 37 or something.
And more than likely trade protection.
Yeah.
I think you could find a buyer for Will Cule, but I think that's someone they want to hang on to.
He's still young, I think.
But when I look at the back end, it's obviously Adam Fox will refuse to play anywhere else. He's got full no move. He's not going anywhere. Vladislav Gavrikov, that is signed through 2032 at $7 million a year, full no move. Will Borgen has a no trade clause. And who would want Will Borgen?
Exactly.
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, friggin' Chris Drury wants Will Borgen because he traded for him last season as to SJ's utter delight.
Look, the 9th time might just be the charm. He might finally turn into something.
So at the end of the day, they just don't have a lot to trade unless they're going to move Lafreniere. And I think that's going to be, obviously Panarin's going to be a big return for them. But beyond that, it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tough. I guess we'll keep an eye on this as it goes. But my guess is they're going to make a splash with Panarin. They'll move one of those other assets. I can't see them moving all of them. But it'll be curious to see what the Rangers actually do over the next 6 months as they move into this quote-unquote retool. And if they can actually avoid going into a full rebuild. But I'm skeptical. I think it's going to be a tough go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer franchise.
For real.
No BS, Trevor.
Also, just side note, retool is so stupid. Just admit it's a rebuild. You don't have to invent new words to say the same thing.
Well, people don't like to hear rebuild. Fans don't like to hear rebuild because they think the team's going to...
Do they like retool?
I guess...
I get that fans don't like to hear rebuild, but I don't know that they're softening. It's like when they were saying marking up grades on papers with red ink is stresses students out. And I was like, I don't know, I feel like an F in purple ink is still bad though.
I think that it's a psychological thing at this point, right? You're trying to convince fans to keep paying for season tickets, and retool is a little bit softer of a word. We've heard it before, and I think that the failure of certain teams in the league to rebuild successfully, and I'm not just blaming Buffalo here, Arizona was much the same way.
Yeah.
The Columbus is another one where there's just been long periods of rebuild cycles. I think
Columbus is hard to I don't know. That franchise makes me sad.
It's a cursed franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But the rebuild cycle, I think, it's just got a negative term. You know, people don't like the word because they think, oh, we don't want to be like Arizona. I'm being nice to Emily here. We don't want to be like,
oh, thanks.
We don't want to be like Columbus. We don't want to be like Florida up until 5 years ago. That's what they're thinking.
They don't want to be like the Avalanche right up until they started winning a cup.
The Avalanche were bad for like 4 years. Calm down.
They were exceptionally bad.
They were historically bad for a year.
And that year got blown. No, that year got crushed by Detroit in the lockout. Not the lockout year, the COVID year. That Detroit team was historically bad.
They were very bad.
That's true.
I think retool also implies that it's going to be a faster fix. Like, hey, next year we're going to be back on track, which I think everyone probably knows is not the case.
Yeah, it's just not true.
But if they can spin it that way and sell it, then, you know.
Here, instead of getting this surgery that'll take you out for a few years, we're just going to pump you with a cortisone shot. You'll be fine in a couple months.
Exactly. Never mind the consequences down the road.
Exactly.
Yeah. They just didn't have the assets they had last time were imminently more movable than what they have this time. And I think that's the challenge that Chris Jury, who seems to be not as good at his job as Jeff Gorton was, I think that's the challenge he has to overcome. And I think it's going to be very interesting. So I think we're going to take a quick break, folks. So if you are having a great time, why don't you go ahead and give us 5 stars on your podcast platform of choice, or thumbs up if you're on YouTube, smash like buttons, whatever it is that you are needing to do to say you're having a good time. If you want to talk about the Rangers with us, you can join us at neutralzonehotel.com/Discord for our permanent Discord link. We're also available on Blue Sky at neutralzonehotel.bsky.social. Yeah, I think that's how that goes. And we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So a couple interesting trades in the NHL. One in the NHL, one in the PWHL this week. So I think we'll start with the NHL. Trevor, do you want to talk about the trade?
Yeah. So the Vancouver Canucks, who for the first time ever have actually finally said they're going to do a rebuild, thank God, sent out fan favorite Kiefer Sherwood to the San Jose Sharks for defensive prospect Cole Clayton. I say prospect very loosely. He's like a 25-year-old AHL lifer. But more importantly, for a 2026 second-round pick and a 2027 second-round pick. Originally, the idea was that maybe we could get a first-round pick for Sherwood because he hits anything that moves and then he'll hit you again, and was also shooting at a very unsustainable shooting percentage. But no one was really seemingly ready to offer that. So 2 seconds from a team that'll finish at best probably in the mid-pack, perfectly fine. It was also very nice. Sherwood had a lot of nice things to say about the city and the fans, which, you know, we always like to appreciate. We like to hear. But I, for one, am looking very much forward to seeing him in San Jose, because that is a team of good vibes and fun, and he's going to fit that market perfectly. And in terms of your rebuild, this is perfect. You want to get rid of your UFAs and you want to get assets as many as you can or as good as you can. That fits this mold perfectly in my eyes.
I love Kiefer Sherwood. That's my thought. I'm happy for him.
He seems like a great guy.
Oh yeah, because he was he was a former Av. Shout outs to me getting to see him score his first career hat trick against the Colorado Avalanche.
Of course it was.
Yeah, and then I got walking pneumonia on the way home, so
this will be his 5th NHL team.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So my big concern here is why now? Why are the San Jose Sharks paying assets for a 30-year-old, a guy who's outside of sort of their window of opportunity age-wise?
Vibes.
And spending, vibes I think are part of it. But Sherwood, I think, is going to be a useful middle six guy for the next few years. And the Sharks do not have a lot of middle six guys. They have top line forwards. They have some good defenders coming up. But I think they could use a guy, a veteran for that sort of area of the line. Because Toffoli, who's their other big veteran, top line guy, and Barclay Goodrow, who they are still playing because reasons, he's their fourth line guy. So they need someone sort of with that veteran presence for the middle. I don't think it's a move I would have made if I was Mike Greer, but I'm not a general manager of an NHL team, and my brother was not a manager of an NFL team. So general managing is not as in the blood as it is for Mr. Greer.
I have a couple potential reasons outside the ones you mentioned. The Sharks are obviously gearing up for a potential playoff run this season. They currently sit third in the Pacific and more than likely going forward. And what Sherwood does really well is shut down. Do y'all remember how boring that Vancouver National playoff series was a couple of years ago?
No, probably because it was boring.
Kiefer Sherwood was the one staple to Quinn Hughes. If Hughes was on the ice, Sherwood was basically there roughing him up. And Hughes, for all of his talent, had basically nothing stats-wise. And he let you know it. He's going to be the guy on the ice when other teams like top line or top players are out there. And he's going to be out there to cause them misery and pain. Because what ramps up in the playoffs is hits and just rough stuff. Kiefer Sherwood's the guy who set the league record for hits in a season last year because he got like 460 or something stupid.
I did not realize that.
Let's put this. I'm going to give you another great stat. They only really started counting hits in 2007, 2008. So keep in mind this is going to have an asterisk. But at the time of his leaving, Kiefer Sherwood, who played with the Canucks for a year and a half, was already 8th in team history in hits.
He did not play for them for very long.
Holy shit.
No, he has maybe 120 career games with the team.
122. Exactly correct. Yep.
That is nuts.
Yeah. And it's something like 658 hits or something stupid like that.
672 hits, according to Hockey Reference.
If you are in a fantasy league that tracks hits as points, he is such a sneaky good pickup because he will give you 5 a game without fail.
No kidding.
But yeah, so if you're wanting to go in the playoffs, that is what he's there for. And when he actually can get the puck on his stick, he's got a sneaky good shot, so he can give you some offense as well if need be. But yeah, he's a perfect middle six guy and a perfect glue guy for the locker room.
Just a glue guy gluing it up.
Sticky.
That's right. Oh, is Sticky because his last name is Sherwood.
Oh no! Boo!
Boo!
Whenever I think of Sherwood, I think of the hockey stick company.
That's what I think of too.
And then I think of all the photo shoots for Emily Clark where she's holding her stick and she always covers over the rest of it, so it just says she.
Queen.
That's great.
Oh, that's cool. I was gonna say, to that, Sherwood does not use Sherwood brand sticks, but he does use their gloves.
I mean, if my last name was the name of an equipment provider for a sport I played, I would simply have to have some of it on me at all times. Like, I would be like, that's me!
100%.
I'm going to slightly dox myself a bit, but as someone who shares a last name with a brand of, like, razor products, yeah, that's the only brand I've ever used.
That's right, folks. Trevor is one of the Gillettes. Who he owns part.
Big Tom Brady fan over here.
Don't you put that voodoo on me. Get out of here. No.
If you don't want your part of the Patriots, you can sell it and I'll take the money, okay? I get it.
My dad, unironically, like, for his, like, at least as long as I've known, will not buy Gillette products as a boycott against the Patriots. Like, that's the reason.
Your dad is so cool.
In so much as I have an NFL team, it's the Patriots.
That's so funny.
Why would you say that in this room?
Because the Patriots were really good at the time I started paying any attention to American football.
Shameful.
Yeah, but I don't care about it, so it's not like I have no feelings.
So you don't mind if the Patriots lose to the Broncos next week?
I didn't even know the Patriots were facing the Broncos next week.
That is specifically what those two were referring to.
No, I understood.
Yeah,
I understood what was happening. I just do not pay attention to American football. And I don't pay much attention to Canadian football either. So,
which they're making worse, but as a completely another podcast. Oh
my God, yeah.
God, I don't want to talk about that.
I do have thoughts on that, but that's another story.
I mean, bonus episode.
Bonus episode complaining about the CFL's
bonus
bullshit.
episode
The
coming
CFL
later.
kowtowing to America. Okay,
Something Canadians are very big fans of right now.
Okay, so let's talk about the other trade that's occurred this week, which is in the PWHL, where the Ottawa Charge pulled off their traditional midseason trade, swinging a 6-player deal with the Vancouver Golden Knights, moving Anna Shohina, Manna McMahon, and Anna Meixner to Vancouver in exchange for Michaela Cava.
Emma Greco.
I wanted to call her Emily Greco, and I knew that was wrong. And Brooke McQuigg.
Yeah.
Trevor, how are you feeling?
I think I'm higher on this than a lot of Golden Knights fans are. Because a lot of them, I mean, from a vibes perspective, Cava and Greco are a vibe. They're cute together. They're great together. We love to see it. But Cava was signed to be as a top free agent. She was one of the top 3 free agents going to this offseason. She was going to be very coveted. And suffice it to say, she underperformed, which is an evergreen statement in Vancouver. I know the perils of this team, but it got so bad that she started the first couple games on the top line and has slowly sunk further and further down until she's been on the 4th line for the last 2 games, culminating in a total of like 1 minute and 15 seconds of ice time in their game against Toronto on Saturday. If anything, if it's just to get her out of that doghouse, all for it. McQuigg was also someone who underperforming. She was 4th in rookie scoring last year. She's had 1 assist all year, and that was the first game of the season. Saw it live happen right in front of me, but so she needed a change of scenery as well. And if Cava goes, you need to move Greco. Like, they have to go together. So
this was a big change of scenery trade. Ottawa moved players that have so Meixner never lived up to expectations. She's the top scoring forward in Austrian history, but only scored 1 goal last year. She scored 2 so far this year, so there's a little bit of a more upside. The hope is she's going to put in 2 or 3 more for Vancouver as the year goes along. McMahon had 8 points last year, 4-4, playing on the top line, but had played herself onto the 4th line in Ottawa. Very clearly needed a change of scenery. And Anna Shohina, even though she was Ottawa's 2nd round pick this year, I can tell you just from watching her, it's been a struggle to get her to realize that she does not play in the Russian league anymore. She plays like she has all the space in the world when she has very little. When she does have space, she makes amazing plays. But she has not adapted well to being on the smaller ice and being on the ice with significantly more talented players. I think she's a good middle 6 forward if she figures that out. But until she does, I think she's a liability whenever she's on the ice. So Vancouver is betting that these 3 players will do a nice change of scenery boost as well. I'm very happy for Ottawa because I think Cava will fit well. I think Greco is the type of person we need for the third pair, which has been suffering so far this year. And I'm happy to see what McQuigg can bring to the game. And if it's nothing, it's nothing. She's kind of a spare part. But maybe there's something there. So to me, big change of scenery trade. And I think those are really smart. Mike made one of those last year when he moved Skamura and Harmon for Bach and Larocque. And Larocque had a better year after she moved. And Bach had a better year after she moved, but Harmon played herself off the U.S. Olympic team. Skamura is still somehow there, but she's not. She wasn't good last year, and she's not been good this year with Montreal. So Mike seems to be really good at recognizing when players can move, and I think that's good.
From a Vancouver point of view, too, the last game against Toronto, one thing was very evident, and that's that the team does not have speed. There were a couple of times where it was a clear-cut breakaway or clear-cut 2-on-1s, and Toronto just raced back before Vancouver could make anything happen and just took away the ice. And having watched Ottawa games enough, I know McMahon can give you that speed. Mike Snick can give you that speed and aggression on the forecheck. Shahina, again, she might be kind of a project, but we have Michelle Carvinen, so I get it. I get it when happens when you have a rookie who is used to being the top player in their league in the European League and is finding out that it's not necessarily translating as much over here. But so I'm excited for that as well. Just that injection of speed and energy that the team has sorely lacked over the last few games.
One of the things I've noticed is that European players tend to struggle in their first year in the PWHL. Like Lena Lundblom last year in Montreal struggled. She's doing better this year. Meiksna struggled. She's doing better. Shohina, I think she'll probably do better as the year goes on and into next year. The only European, Carvinen, like you said, another one. Kaltenkova isn't struggling, but that's because she's straight out of the NCAA into, like, she's basically a North American player. There's no interlude in Sweden for her. And just got her first assist tonight, by the way. Until now, she was no pass, only shoot. And from what I can see, it sounds like it accidentally bounced off her skate. So as far as I'm concerned, she's still no pass.
No pass, only shoot.
Oh, that woman. When I saw her at the draft, I was just like, oh my God, she's a superstar. She's going to be awesome, and she's really incredible to watch.
If you stuck her on a WWE entrance ramp, you don't even need to have her to do any pose. She just stands there, put a light on her, and she just has it.
She has it. Yep. She has charisma and spades.
Yes. So excited to see her in March.
Oh yeah, because that's the second Denver game, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the only European player that I can think of off the top of my head who, even Tapani, she struggled a little bit before really powering up. There's a few more, but the only player I've seen who stepped right into a top, a really strong role was Savalainen. And now this year she's playing top line. She's the number one defender for Ottawa, and she's crushing it. She's awesome out there.
One other fun little caveat going back to the trade. Manic McMahon's got 1 goal. Meiksna's got 2 goals, and Shahina's got 1 goal. That's a grand total of 4 goals, which isn't bad. There's one problem. Guess who all those goals were scored against? The Vancouver Golden Knights.
Oh.
Womp womp.
So unfortunately, they can't pad those stats against that team anymore. So they got to figure it out somewhere else. But yeah, I'm excited to see them. When this episode goes live, I will be hopefully watching them live on the ice in Vancouver doing their thing. So fingers crossed.
I think this is a good trade. I think it's good when there's trades in the PWHL. I think a 6-player trade is really fun. I would like them to release salary information so that we can see and do a little bit more fan casting. And I would really like it if they could move picks outside of the draft area.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be like this until the league decides it's kind of at size, at which point I think they'll open up picks a little bit more because they're very carefully controlling the talent as it enters the league. And that makes sense to me. You don't want one team to get overloaded. And apparently it did not happen with Vancouver, even though everyone said it was going to.
Yeah, are you all happy now? Everyone who poo-pooed the expansion process, naysayed against everyone, spoke doom upon Seattle and Vancouver for how they were going to dominate the league, and now they're bottom 2 in the league. Are you happy now? I'm not going to lie, I am. That means I still have a team. No shade, man. I'm sorry.
I actually think it's pretty good. I think that this is a very, very good outcome. So a little bit of randomness is good, and I'm happy because the Charge are doing okay. Because I was worried after the first part of the season.
Oh yeah, no, it was a rough go, but they I don't know what it was, like who put something in the Kool-Aid there, but it's been wonderful over there. And again, as a Vancouver fan, but Ottawa still being my second team, great to watch.
Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled. Okay. That brings us close to the end, but I think we wanted to touch a little bit on the Takeover game in DC. Madison, you're the literal poster child for the PWHL.
That is true.
What do you
Emily's there too.
I got half cut out in the Facebook ad, and I'm just not in the Instagram one, though.
You're in, the two of you are the center of the ads in our hearts, though. But
Yeah, right.
what did you think about DC taking your record?
I hope that we take it back this Sunday.
Wait, didn't Seattle?
Well, Seattle already took it.
Well, and Detroit,
No, I know,
Detroit took
but-
it before that.
Anyway,
SJ's not here. Detroit doesn't matter.
I hope that Denver breaks it again this weekend, but also, from the point of view of what's good for the PWHL and what's good for the league, I think it's great to see these records keep being broken with consecutive takeover games. Like, I think it's overall very good for the sport. It's good for the PW. I do hope that Denver takes it back. We've got two Takeover Tour games. I think we can do it. But yeah, overall, I can't be that mad about it. I think it's pretty cool, to be honest.
It rocks that it's like close to arena capacity. It's not like, 8,000 people showed up to this game and it seats, 18,000. No, like this is pushing capacity, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's just a really cool moment for the league, and I think it's just very cool to see. I'm very happy for everyone involved.
I think that the people of Washington, D.C. have made a pretty firm statement that they are interested in a
They
team.
love women's sports in DC.
They really do.
I think a lot of the arguments for why a team works in Ottawa are true in Washington, D.C. as well. Despite recent cost cutting, you still have a higher percentage of women who are employed, who have good incomes and spare money. And I don't know how DC's queer scene is. I really don't, but I would imagine it's at least somewhat vibrant. But they love women's sports in DC. The only problem is there is nowhere for them to play. There is,
Yep.
it's not even like Detroit where there's an arena that kind of works on the outskirts. There is nowhere. It's Capital One or bust.
Do the Caps not have a separate practice arena or anything?
The Caps practice arena is on the top of an eight-story car garage. It has a parking garage. Yep. It is the top floor. It's like there's 8 floors of parking, and then there's the practice arena on top.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. So they would have to do a deal where they are another of the tenants at Capital One. And Capital One right now has the Wizards, the Caps, the Georgetown Hoyas play there.
Oh, I didn't realize Georgetown played there.
Yeah, so they have 3 tenants right now.
Because the Frost play primarily at whatever dumb new name that the former XL Energy Center had, right?
Grand Casino Arena in St. Paul.
So they've got the Wild, the Timberwolves, and the Frost, but I guess
The the Timberwolves have their own.
Do they?
Arena.
I thought they
The Target Center.
Okay, never mind. I was like, they're making it work in Minnesota. They are not making it work in Minnesota.
The one slight argument, at least, of maybe you can make it work in Capital One is, yeah, you do have those other tenants, but if you got the PWHL team, you need at most 15 dates. So it's a little more workable than not, even though it's going to be a little crunched because of, at least 82 from 2 other tenants.
Yeah.
But
So the Washington Mystics used to play there. They now play at a place called Care First Arena that seats 4,200 for basketball. I don't see anything in here that suggests it can be used for hockey. That'd be a pretty good size for a PWHL team in the United States.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it's convertible, but other than that, it just does not seem like there's anything. There's nowhere to play. Like there's not that many ice hockey rinks. The ones that are do not have capacity.
Having lived kind of in that area, like there's just not a lot of ice hockey happening in the DC metro area.
Which is wild when you consider that they've had a team for over 50 years.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
But there are more ice sheets in Dallas.
That is wild.
Well, no, it's the Stars in Dallas.
Okay.
But
even more, that's also
okay.
just relevant because don't they basically own all of the ice sheets out there?
a lot of them, yes, and there's actually a scandal going on with it.
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
Yeah,
we talked about it before, but yeah. So like the Dallas Stars have done a better job engendering the game of hockey in 30 years than the Capitals have done in 50. And to be fair, the Capitals were real bad to start. Like they were stinky, but that
is true.
They've had Alexander Ovechkin now for 22 mortal years.
That's insane.
At least to be fair, when you look at Alexander Ovechkin, he looks like he's been playing in the NHL for 2 decades.
At least, yeah.
The man has gray hair.
Old man.
Yeah, he looks like he's 60.
Well, it sounds like he's done this year and heading back. But I still think this is good for the league. I think it's good to get neutrals interested. Maybe this basketball arena can be converted for hockey, or maybe they figure something out. But DC is a strong women's sports town. So Denver's up next. I do think Denver is in the running for a team. I think Denver's a very strong choice.
My concern there is where they play, because again, Ball has the Nuggets and the Avs already. Family Sports, where the Avs have practice, is like 40 minutes from downtown and has no seating. None of, I guess they could maybe play at DU, but that seats like 5,000.
Oh no, it seats like over 7,000.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Or then the other option is they play in Loveland where the Eagles play, but that's an hour from Denver.
Or the Springs, which also an hour and a half from
But
Denver.
I don't know where they would play in the Springs. They're not going to Air Force.
No, there's a rink, what do they call it? I went to a figure skating competition in the Springs. So I
guess they could play at the Olympic Training Center.
No, that
would be cool.
Let me find the name of it, because they
I believe that there's something down there, but I don't know what capacity they've got.
It's the Broadmoor World Arena.
So the Broadmoor World Arena is an 8,000 person seat multi-purpose venue. Magnus Arena seats 6,300 plus standing, it says, which I think is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'd want to go if I was the PWHLs. I'd want to go to Magnus.
That may honestly be the start, especially because the Cronkies are on this let's redevelop the area around Ball Arena kick right now, and I think they want to make a separate practice arena that's going to be next to Ball, and if they did that, they could potentially put in the seating, and then they've got
That would be like a perfect spot.
Well, I think a lot of the discussions around certain teams in the United States has been there are NHL teams looking for an excuse to take their practice facility and turn it into an event center where it would still do practice facility things, but you could rent it out in the evenings for like a 5,000 person concert or something. And PWHL team as the primary tenant in one of those locations would be ideal because then you're selling a bunch of tickets 15, 16 nights a year. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the long term, but in the short term, if you can go to Magnus Arena, that seems like, I mean, honestly, $6,300 for hockey in the United States, I think you're going to do okay. Obviously, Seattle's selling quite a lot, but if they sell that out every year and the Crunkies go, well, I guess we need 8,000 for this venue we're building. It's better than Ottawa, which is going the other way.
Yeah. No, yeah, I do think Magnus, I mean, I'm biased. Magnus would be a sick place for a Denver PWHL team because I already pay for parking there.
Hey, and you know what? Yeah, PWHL, take note. This is coming from the person that you put in the middle of your advertising. They know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they put me on the poster. They should make me happy by putting it on the DU campus and personally inviting me to be friends with all of the players.
Where is the DU campus compared to downtown?
It is not downtown, but that means that it has parking. And it has easy light rail access to downtown, so it's perfectly accessible.
That is clutch because the parking situation is a little scattered, what with it being a college campus.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I see where it is.
But it's easily accessible off of I-25. I mean, if you're coming from the Ball Arena area, it's less than half an hour. It's probably 20 minutes.
Yeah, depending on traffic, it's pretty close.
I'm asking because I've always wanted to visit Denver, and I am going to, hopefully, one day in 3 years. Exactly.
Yeah, when you're willing to enter the country again.
Exactly 3 years from today, I think it might become viable.
Mm-hmm.
So,
nice.
Hopefully, let us pray.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Benjamin. Like Denver, I have several friends who are there. 2 of them are up here, and then, funnily enough, I have another completely isolated internet friend group that also has friends in Denver. So it's like, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Plus, just on top of Denver, just looks like a hoot.
My
Neutral Zone Hotel party in Denver in 2028. Let's go.
My dad,
2029, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll do our first
year.
live show from there.
I love this.
Perfect.
My dad works
from the PHL Denver game at Magnus Arena.
That would be so sick. I know Canadians who actively choose to have a business trip to Denver. Probably not anymore, but they used to actively choose to have a business trip to Denver, slightly because they like my dad who lives here, but mostly because the first time they came here, my dad informed them how cheap hockey tickets are for Avalanche games compared to Canadian hockey tickets, and they were like, this is sick because it's good quality hockey, and it's expensive to me, but compared to Canadian ticket prices, it's a pretty slam dunk deal.
All right. Question. Let's just throw this as a hypothetical. If you were to watch the Avalanche in the upper deck up in the corner, approximately how much is the ticket?
Somewhere between $40 and $75, depending on who's playing.
The team, yeah.
Okay, so 70 to 100. Yeah, no, that's still a heck of a lot cheaper than the Vancouver Canucks. So yes.
It's about the price of the Ottawa Senators.
And hey, it's either the Ottawa Senators who are not good, or the Vancouver Canucks who are dog shit, or the Colorado Avalanche who are kind of good.
I would say people are saying the Avalanche are a good team.
I would, if I lived in Denver, I'd be going to as many Avalanche games as I could right now.
You get to go stare at that 33 up in the rafters, Benjamin.
Highly recommend.
All right, folks. I think we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Neutral Zone Hotel. We are written, hosted, and produced by us, the Neutral Zone Hotel crew, and edited this week by me. So if it sounds like shit, it's my fault. You can follow us on Blue Sky, neutralzonehotel.bluesky.social. You can hit us up on YouTube at Neutral Zone Hotel. If you're having a great time listening, why don't you hit thumbs up, 5 stars, whatever it is. We're on Discord. You can join us at neutralzonehotel.com/Discord. As always, thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next week.